Welcome in. It's from the Bleachers here on the Fan Sports Network. Caden Formaster and Mark Musgrave.
The voice you know.
Welcome into the show here on this Tuesday, coming back from Memorial Day weekend and long weekend. So we're happy to be back in the saddle here in the studio today. So, Mark, we're going to start things off kind of quick today. We're going to get right into it. We've got guests today. We've got a busy day ahead of us. Busy show.
Big news out in my hometown of Ivins, Utah. Big news came out of Ivins today.
Huge news. The news, if you haven't heard already, and there's some clips posted over on our Facebook page, and we'll play some of those in the show today anyways. But the LPGA Tour is going to be stopping by in southern Utah. May of 2025.
Yes.
Out at Black Desert.
Well, spring of 2025. Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Spring of 2025.
Last week of April, first week of May.
Sure.
It's a long ways off. But...
Yeah. Anyway, so that's the plan. Spring 2025. It's going to be here in southern Utah. It's going to be exciting stuff.
Yeah, and we have Gina Higbee here with us. She is an LPGA, like a club professional, right? Kind of a golf professional.
Yes.
Gina, what is your involvement? And actually, you know what? Before we go there, tell us your excitement of that press conference today.
Can I scream in the microphone?
Absolutely, you can. Get ready to turn it down.
Gosh, I am still in shock at how incredible this is for the state of Utah and for women's golf.
Mm-hmm.
This is absolutely amazing that the LPGA Tour is coming to Utah, and it's been 60 years. Since they've been here.
That blew my mind this morning listening to that, where it's been so long. Why has it been so long? Why did it leave in the first place? Do you have the answer to that?
I really don't.
Yeah.
But we definitely
So
kind of
strange.
went off the map for a little while. But
Mm-hmm.
we're back, and Black Desert is just extremely excited to have them here, have that level of players here, and create the opportunity for these gals.
Yeah.
So it's amazing for all of us to have this in our hometown.
Mm-hmm.
So how did you get involved with this process?
Well, I am, as a professional, they have hired me on as director of the volunteers for their championship series. So for the PGA and LPGA, all of their tournaments, I will be over the volunteers for those tournaments and those events. So it's exciting.
And there's an event coming up this fall, right?
Yes, they have the Black Desert is hosting the Epson Tour at Soldier Hollow Golf Course in northern Utah. So that's the event that I'm working on right now, trying to get volunteers and get people excited to see those ladies play, which is amazing. And we're going to do a junior pro-am there as well. So Black Desert really wants to get the youth involved and give them the opportunity to play with these gals.
That is the future.
That is the future.
For sure.
Why not?
Yes.
That's awesome. So tell us a little bit more about kind of your career in golf. Where did that start, and how'd you end up where you're at now?
Well, and this is kind of unique. Is I started when I was 12 years old. Okay, my dad got me started, and he took me a couple rounds of golf, and I was addicted. And he took me to DI and bought me an old Arnold Palmer set of clubs.
Yeah.
But I never stopped loving it. I played high school golf. I was the only girl. Played with the boys. And then I played golf at Idaho State University. Great team. We won the Big Sky Championship one year. And then I turned pro and chose to go with the LPGA. And honestly, I would have never imagined. Of course, I dreamed of it.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that the LPGA is right here in Utah is something I did not know would happen to what the level is right now. It's so exciting. But it's been my career. I teach. I run a golf academy, play a lot. Golf is my life.
Gina, where do you hold that? Where do you do lessons in your golf academy and stuff like that at? Is it here in southern Utah?
It's at Black Desert and
okay.
Fox Hollow Golf Club in American Fork is where I am right now, those two places. So I kind of bounce back between the two, but I'm looking to be more right here at Black Desert.
How many volunteers is going to be needed in the spring of 2025 for this LPGA event?
I dare say we're going to need a good 450 volunteers.
Now, what does that entail for those who maybe don't know and would like to be interested in doing something like that? What would these volunteers be getting themselves set up for?
Well, there's lots of options, such as shuttles, just shuttling the players from one hole to another. Caddies, we'll need caddies. We'll need, parking attendants, VIP tent, volunteer services, all kinds of options. So really, there's something for everybody.
Mm-hmm. Now, I'm going to ask a question that I thought I knew the answer to, but you just mentioned caddies. Do the women on the LPGA Tour not have a designated caddy every week?
Most of them do.
Most of them do.
Most of them do.
But there's times where they might need somebody.
Yeah, a lot of them, the money's not coming in as steady as they'd like it to yet, and they're not being able to pay for the caddy to travel.
Mm-hmm.
So they do occasionally ask for if we can provide a caddy, mainly at the Epson Tour.
Yeah,
We'll provide a lot of those. Caddies for the gals. So really, whether some of the players will want to walk and hold a sign, be a sign bearer, score for the players. You could be in a cart the entire time, or you can walk. We've got a spot and a position for everybody. So just come be a part of it. Go on and register. Once you go on and register on the BDR Championship, then we have the database, and we're going to keep you posted with everything coming up, all of the tournaments, and we want you there. We want you to be part of this excitement. This is incredible, and we need your help. It takes a team.
What does this mean to you to have professional golf here in Utah? Because we really haven't seen. Yes, we've had the Epson Tour come through here in southern Utah for the last few years, right? But we haven't seen this level, right? I mean, even when we look at professional sports in Utah, we have a lot of kind of the minor leagues, as we could maybe call it, right? With many sports, we have minor league hockey, minor league baseball. Really, the one professional sport we do have, we have basketball and we have soccer. And now we're finally getting something else thrown into it. But we're lucky enough to have it right here in St. George with golf. What does that mean, not only for our community, but just the state of Utah as a whole?
To be honest, this hits me. I have a soft spot in my heart, big time. I mean, my heart melts just thinking of the opportunity that the girls in the state of Utah have. Okay, I mean, I didn't have any of the opportunities. In order for my dad to take me to play or to watch a professional tournament, we had to travel outside of the state, and we actually couldn't because it was expensive. So now these young girls and these players that are amazing in the state of Utah can see this level of golf right here at Black Desert. So I am pleased as can be. I'm extremely happy. It's going to up the level of these girls. They're going to work harder on the games. And one of the things that I love about the LPGA Tour players, well, the PGA as well, but they really work hard on their games, but it's more than that. It's evolved into physically, mentally. These people aren't just out playing golf all the time. They're eating right, they're exercising, they're reading the right stuff and feeding their mind. These are athletes. These are unbelievable players. These gals, I want everybody to come out, and men. 70% of probably my clientele for lessons is more men than women. They love to watch the tour players, those gals. Nice, big, smooth swings. They make it look so easy.
Yeah. Well, and I think they play a little bit more our yardages and things like that, where, a single digit handicapper, an 8, 9, 10 handicapper for a man is probably hitting the same distances as these gals. And so they can kind of maybe see their game a little bit better in the women's game. When's the last time you played with somebody like Rory McIlroy?
Yeah.
That's not even.
I'm not hitting the ball as far as John Rahm. I'll tell you that.
Exactly. But the yardages that the gals hit, probably a little more comparable to a very good men's player that plays weekly or so on and so forth.
I would put these tour players up.
No,
against
I
any
would
of
too.
these,
I would too. But just yardages.
Oh yes.
Yardages.
Oh yeah.
Because nobody can, like I said, I don't know many people, if any, that can hit on average a 350 to 380 yard drive,
right?
Like Rory McIlroy does and stuff like that. But like the Nelly Cordes, I know she got some good distance, but those 300, 320 yard drives, again, more our distance as far as that's concerned.
Oh yeah.
So I love watching women's golf, LPGA, and again, I've been totally sold on LPGA the last few years. I follow them probably as close, if not closer, than I do the PGA Tour.
Yeah, and I wish that the women and the men would more watch the ladies on the tour play, like statistically, and if we could get more views on the LPGA Tour watching, it would be awesome. But yeah, they're super amazing to watch, and the talent, and I really do believe a lot of the men that watch, well, of course the ladies, but men, when they watch those players hit the ball, the presence of being right there when they crush that drive,
Mm.
it's going to take their breath away. I mean, they are compressing the ball. They are
Yeah.
unwinding that core to the fullest.
Yeah. Who's your favorite LPGA player?
Nelly,
Nelly.
yes.
She's a lot of people's favorite.
Yeah, I like her a lot. I like her style. I like her work ethic,
Yeah.
how she conditions, and she's my favorite.
Yeah, definitely love the Corda sisters. Also, Lexi Thompson.
Yeah, she's
I love
great.
watching her talk about somebody who really compresses
Mhm.
the ball. I mean, I'm surprised that her wrists don't hurt because she really just goes right down, maybe steeper than some other, golfers, and she just really just compresses that ball, and it's impressive to watch.
And that's what the game has evolved into. I mean, I grew up watching Nancy Lopez
Yeah.
and Patty Sheehan and great swings, great players. But today, they're different. The girls are stronger. They, like we talked about, condition more.
Mhm.
The swing has evolved into how you can compress and move your body and weight transfer
Yeah.
all through the ball at the right time and hit the ball further. The equipment's amazing.
Yeah.
The equipment's evolved, the balls, the clubs, but either way, you got to put a good swing on it to hit
Yeah.
that thing.
Yeah.
Wow. This is amazing for us. It's been an incredible day, and just being out there while that was being announced to Black Desert. Wow.
Now, question, have you golfed Black Desert yet?
Yes, I have.
All 18 holes?
I just barely left to come here to be
Oh,
with
my-
you. But yes,
That is
You're making
You
us
guys are
jealous.
worth
So
it.
we'll say that. You're
Yes.
making us jealous. That's,
to leave
yeah.
Black Desert and come on from the bleachers on the Fan Sports Network with me and Caden. You should have stayed out of Black Desert.
Hey, I'm not going to say. Maybe I'm going to go back out there and finish up. But oh, guys, I'm so excited.
What are the greens like out there?
They're nice. They're still a little bit new.
Mhm.
They'll build up some thatch underneath, and the ball will start, holding a little bit better. But it's coming along super fast.
Well, we got 2 years.
Oh yeah,
We got 2 years before
Yeah.
the competition, so we're
Yeah.
good, right?
It's coming along. It's grown really well over the past even couple months.
So I'm looking at the schedule right now of the LPGA Tour, and I love this West Coast swing that they do. April 20th to the 23rd. Now, these dates will be a little bit different come 2025, but it'll be very similar. They're in Woodlands, Texas. And then April 27th through the 30th, they go to Los Angeles. And then May 4th through the 7th, they go to San Francisco. I'm assuming our Black Desert Resort tournament will be smashed in there somewhere.
May 1st.
May 1st is kind of what we're leaning towards.
Yeah, right there that first week.
So I mean, maybe between LA and San Francisco or something like that. And then they go, and then middle of May, they go all the way back to the East Coast for an East Coast win. But then they come all the way back to Shadow Creek in May as well. So yeah, they're jumping all over the place. My goodness.
And think about
Yeah.
it, you guys. They're going to come out here. Well, you were out there at Black Desert.
Yeah.
They're going to be
Oh.
like, wow, Utah, you're kidding me.
Yeah.
They're going to see some views out there and some shots that they've never seen before. And those
Yeah.
gals have seen a lot. This is going to be amazing for them. I'm
Yeah.
excited for those tour players to have the opportunity to be out here.
The LPGA representative this morning in the press conference, when she compared, they're in New York right now with that skyline, so a much different skyline than
Yeah.
what we have. But I loved how she said, you know what, this might have it beat, and I think I'm with her. That big
I
red
am.
mountain and
Yeah.
the
It's so different, and that's the thing is what we have here in Southern Utah is just so different than anywhere else really in the world. I mean,
Mhm.
you can go see Red Rocks in other places in golf, but with the course conditions and with the views, I mean, you can't really beat what we have here.
Yeah.
And I'm so excited for them to be able to put it on a tour.
the people here are super
Mhm.
nice too.
That's true too.
It's not, I mean, it's an amazing golf course, but I really think people are going to come here and they're going to have an overall great experience.
yeah.
I mean, St. George is absolutely amazing. The golf course is phenomenal, but the people are great.
Yeah.
So these tour players are going to feel that when they get here.
Again, this is just exciting, great news, with Black Desert Resort, LPGA coming to Southern
Okay,
Utah.
Say that one more time,
The
please.
LPGA
Wow.
is coming to Ivins, Utah. Now, I grew up in Ivins. I mean, back in the 80s, I would have never, ever, ever thought that Ivins would be a destination for professional golf, and that what they did there, the vision that they had is just incredible.
And it's been when they hired me on in March. Those guys out there, I mean, the course speaks for itself, but the team.
Mm-hmm.
They are amazing people. They're not just, they want to create the experience. They want a great relationship with everybody in St. George. They're doing it all the right way. And I'm just happy to be a part of it with them. Amazing people. But again, the LPGA is coming to St. George, Utah.
I mean, it would probably be on like a Fox or who carries the LPGA
NBC,
right now? And is it NBC?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think it's NBC.
This is
Golf Channel?
Yeah, the Golf Channel, for sure.
Yes.
But yes, we're talking Nelly Korda, Brooke Henderson, Jessica Korda. Who's the number one player right now? I can't think of her name off the top of my head. I have it right here. Hold on.
Up real quick.
Oh, I got it. Jin Young Ko.
Yeah.
Yes. Nelly Korda's number 2. Lydia Ko.
Lydia Ko as well.
Number 3. Lilia Vu. Number 4. Yeah, Minji Lee. Lexi Thompson, number 7. Brooke Henderson. Yeah.
I think Nellie's out right
goodness.
now with a little bit of
she is.
injury of some sort.
Yep.
We got to make sure she's healthy to
Yes.
come out here to Black Desert,
Oh,
right?
my goodness. Yes.
Yeah.
So exciting.
It's crazy. It's so much fun.
Ivan's Utah.
Yeah.
Go figure.
It's awesome.
God.
So good. Hey, well, thank you for stopping by, talking to us about it a little bit, and we were happy to be out there. I'm sure you were just as excited as we were to be out there for the announcement today, and to be able to get that announcement on the course is just so much fun.
Well, and Gina, also tell our listeners if they have some youth players or if they want lessons, how can they get a hold of you?
You can, my phone number is, I get a lot through there, 801-830-GOLF, or my website, GinaHigbyGolf.com. But honestly, go on to BDR Resort Championship. So just BDR Championship. Volunteer. Because once you volunteer right there for the Soldier Hollow event, I can channel you through volunteering for any of the other events. But I would love to help any of you with golf lessons. I do have the only LPGA girls golf program in the state of Utah currently. I have one here at Black Desert and at Fox Hollow. So we'll be running lots of juniors through and just starting to gain momentum on all of those things right now.
I was actually hoping to schedule her today, but reached out to Kate Walker, who just took state for the 4A classification. She's a freshman at Crimson Cliffs High School. We're going to have her on probably tomorrow or Thursday. I reached out to her.
That's
we were
great.
hoping to get her on today. I thought it would be just a perfect day to have her on.
Oh, yeah.
I know,
Talking about the LPGA and all that kind of stuff. But
that's going to get her super excited.
absolutely.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
My
Yes.
goodness.
It's going to be great.
Gina, thank you so much.
Gina,
Hey, thank you guys for having
Yes.
me very much.
Of course. We're going to take a break. We got more coming up next. Stick around.
Did you know that St. George News has a new app? Download the St. George News app today and stay up to date on everything happening in Southern Utah. Get instant notifications on news, weather, sports, and more. Download the app today and get your local news now.
Hey, it's Sheldon Demke. Check out the latest episode of What's on the Menu, a behind-the-scenes tour of local restaurants. We'll see some of their favorite dishes and get an inside look on how these dishes are prepared. Check out this week's episode at stgeorgenews.com and click the shows on the menu tab.
As a local business owner, it's important to get the word out about your business. More people equals more revenue for you. Get your business in front of over 160,000 people in southern Utah each week with St. George News. Contact St. George News today.
Media is everywhere. It's a part of our daily life, our routine, not just for entertainment, but to stay informed. Local media has the biggest impact on your daily life. It's what's around you, what matters. And at Canyon Media, our goal is to deliver the very best in local entertainment news and media. From our award-winning radio stations like 99.9 Coney Country to Southern Utah's #1 source for local news, St. George News, we believe in delivering free, fast, and accurate local news, entertainment, and information to all of Southern Utah through our entertaining on-air personalities and music, compelling local shows, and community events like the City of St. George 4th of July celebration and charitable events like Coney Coins for Kids. From our entire team of dedicated designers, videographers, salespeople, digital marketers, writers, and on-air talent, thank you for letting us be a part of your daily life. Canyon Media, here for you.
Check out this week's edition of TGIF on stgeorgenews.com. TGIF is your weekend adventure guide to all the fun and exciting things going on in Southern Utah this weekend. Find this week's edition at stgeorgenews.com and click the shows on the menu tab. Have a blast this weekend.
Hey, it's Caden Formaster.
And Mark Musgrave, the voice you know with the Fan Sports Network.
Check out our local sports radio show From the Bleachers live every weekday from 4 to 6 p.m.
Listen to us on the radio on 99.5 or 95.3 FM.
You can also listen through the Fan Sports Network app or watch the show live on the Fan Sports Network YouTube page.
The Fan Sports Network is your home of Utah Tech Trailblazers, high school sports, and the pros.
The Fan Sports Network, Southern Utah's home for local sports. Welcome back into the Findlay Hyundai studio here on From the Bleachers, the Fan Sports Network. Caden Formaster and Mark Musgrave.
The voice you know.
Great to be able to talk with Gina about Black Desert and the announcement of the LPGA Tour coming into town. And I don't want to make light of this because I think some people might hear the L in front of the PGA and disregard what it is. This is professional sports in Southern Utah. I don't think we've ever had, and I'm saying this, I don't think we have ever had this level of sporting event in Southern Utah, ever.
No.
Ever.
And you know, here's the deal. The Epson Tour is fantastic, and it has opened up a lot of doors for girls golf and women's golf for sure. I mean, that's the next step. You know, Epson Tour and then the LPGA Tour. And you know, I think the status of women's golf in not just Utah but Southern Utah is quite phenomenal right now.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're not excited about this, and you know, if you're a sports fan and you're not, you need to educate yourself on women's golf because it is tremendous. And I wasn't kidding when I said I probably follow women's golf, the LPGA Tour, as closely, if not closer, than I do the PGA Tour. I just love watching those gals play. I mean, they hit the ball so well. You know, more kind of like how we got. I'm not saying they're not good. I'm just saying their distances are probably more closer to ours because the PGA guys, those guys are freaks. They hit the ball so far. There's no way in the world, Caden, that you and I are ever thinking that we're going to hit the ball 380 yards.
Yeah.
Like Rory McIlroy. They play a different kind of golf than what we do. I think the women play a little bit more closer to our style of golf.
I think so too. I think you're right about
distances and things like that. Like, you know, on the PGA Tour, an 8-iron, you know, John Rahm's hitting an 8-iron from, 190 yards. I'm like, okay, that's my hybrid, not my 8-iron. I think women golfers, LPGA, more so that an 8-iron is going to be 155, 160-yard club, you know, not a 190-yard club. Again, I think they just, our styles are a little bit closer together than the PGA guys.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think that they are.
Again, I'm not comparing them to us. They are so much better than us.
They're better than us.
I mean,
they're better than us.
I know that kind of comes off. That's kind of what I'm saying, but it's really not. That's just, I think our games and our yardages just kind of are more similar to the LPGA than it is the PGA. That's what I'm saying. Because Rory, John Rahm, all those guys, they're just all freaks on how far they can hit a golf ball.
Right.
And that's not how we play that game.
Right. I agree with you. Yeah, because it's just the way that game works for the women. It is a little closer to what we can compare ourselves to for guys. I don't even know if I could throw myself in that category because those ladies will go out beat me 10 times out of 10. So I feel like I can't compare myself to that. But it is, and like you say, following it just over the weekend, I was looking up the leaderboard for the LPGA just because I was just like, oh, I'm just curious, where's everyone at? And the fun thing too is because we have had the Epson Tour coming through here for the last few years. There's a lot of familiar names.
There is.
That we have met in person. We've had on our show. And I was thinking about this when we were just talking to Gina. I'm like, let's look at some of the leaders right now in the Epson Tour that we've had come through here that we're getting to know. And you look at some of those names, it's like, okay, those are the ladies that are going to be coming back here to Southern Utah to play Black Desert in a couple years.
And especially in 2 years, yeah.
Especially in 2 years.
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
What I'm saying. So Savannah Vailabi, who won, she's currently in the top 10 still.
Right.
She has a good shot of being in the LPGA Tour next year. And by 2025, we could see her back here again in Southern Utah. Like that kind of stuff to me, I'm like, that's kind of cool from a personal perspective because I feel like in the week that they are here for the Epson Tour, we get to know them a little bit, some of those players. We get to have them on. And, Gigi Stoll, for example, also another one that's top 10, has been on the show, talked to in person. If she stays top 10, she can get that card and move up to the LPGA. It's so exciting to see these women moving on from the developmental tour and the Epson Tour, right, to where they are in the LPGA. And it's going to be a blast to see some of these who we already know come right back through Southern Utah again. So I'm excited about that.
It still just blows my mind that Ivans, Utah is going to be the host of an LPGA event.
That's like telling me when I'm your age that there's going to be professional sports in Enterprise. It sounds ridiculous. It sounds ridiculous.
Yeah, and like you
so
know,
I understand how you feel because if you told me that, I'd be like, no.
I mean, when I was 28, 29 years old, if somebody would have said that even back then, that would have been late 90s, I would have thought you were nuts.
Especially Ivans.
Yeah, Ivans.
St. George, you're like, maybe. But even then, St. George at the time.
I mean, just crazy stuff.
Probably no, but
very exciting. And one thing that I hope it leads in for us is having a Nelly Corda on our show or a Brooke Henderson, Lexi Thompson. I mean, to have one of those ladies on our show, I think would be tremendous.
Well, they
really would be.
They are the John Rahms and Scotty Schefflers of their world.
Yes.
So,
oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Very exciting stuff.
It's way exciting.
Black Desert Resort.
It helps that we're fans.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I feel like we're as hyped as anyone else is.
Yeah, Black Desert Resort, the spring of 2025 LPGA. You're going to hear a lot more of it from here until that event takes place. We're going to talk a lot of LPGA Tour from here for the next couple of years for sure as we're amping up for it, coming up.
Yeah, that's going to be amazing.
We got more guests later on, too, talking about this big event and press conference that we had this morning.
Yeah. We got a lot of it going on today. So
we are going to talk NBA. We're going to talk NHL.
We have to talk NBA because
Knights go.
NBA was insane. We got to talk NHL.
Go Knights go.
Go Knights go. 6-0 over Dallas.
So exciting.
Yeah.
There's some good stuff going on right now.
There's some great stuff. We started the show so quickly. I feel like we usually, when we come back from a weekend, Mark, I feel like you and I like to just catch up over the weekend.
Yeah.
Here on air to say, hey, what happened over the weekend? And it was a busy weekend. We had an extra day thrown in there.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't got to do the fun little, hey, what'd you do this weekend kind of a thing. And I'll tell you this, my weekend, well, especially Monday, was a lot of watching sports. I had basketball on one TV, watching Game 7. And then on my phone, I had the Golden Knights game as they were blowing out Dallas. Oh, my gosh, that was so much fun.
We all love that.
Oh, it was anytime Dallas loses is a win for the world.
Yeah.
I agree. Anyway, so I was so excited. So it was a busy Monday afternoon, evening of watching sports.
My highlight of the weekend was Macy and I. We went up to Bryce Canyon on Saturday, and we did the Peekaboo Trail hike.
Yeah,
it ended up being a little over 5 miles, 5.2 miles, with an elevation of about 1,200 feet because you kind of walk down into the canyon and The problem with walking down into the canyon is that you have to walk back up the canyon.
Yep, I knew exactly what you were saying.
And but it was absolutely gorgeous. You know, Macy and I both talked about how, you know, we've been to Bryce Canyon.
Yep.
We've looked at it and thought, oh man, that's pretty cool. And then we just go about our day, you know, whatever. But walking down into it and really getting the feel of it, being up close and personal with Bryce Canyon, I've got a whole new appreciation of that state park and how it came about by frost wedging. Yeah, that's a term I learned over the weekend, frost wedging.
Is it where, let me see if I can get this right. Is it where water goes into cracks?
Yeah.
It freezes, which water expands when it freezes.
Yeah.
And so then it tears apart rocks as it freezes. And then it thaws.
That's how Bryce Canyon was mostly developed. A lot of people think it's because of rain and all that kind of stuff. And that has a little tiny bit to do with it. But it's mainly frost wedging.
There you go.
Yeah. Little
geology.
Little geological knowledge I'm dropping on everybody.
Who knew that this would turn into a geology show?
But it was awesome, man. It, you know, my one goal when we were leaving the bottom of the canyon was to just keep going. I didn't want to stop. And I didn't. I kept telling Macy, you know, slow and steady. I'm going to go all the way to the top. And dude, because Caden, it's
a big hike out.
I was struggling. I mean, I was not going fast.
With legs
that's for sure.
quaking by the end.
Oh my! They weren't really quaking, but they were tired. They were ready. And anyways, just a great day, Saturday. If you ever get an opportunity to do that, it's called the Peekaboo Trail. I mean, there's several trails and hikes up there that are, I'm sure, fantastic. We did Peekaboo, fell in love with it.
Awesome. That's awesome. My wife and I on Sunday, we took a drive. We went from, and those who are Southern Utah natives, you probably have heard of these. Maybe you have, maybe you haven't. We drove from Highway 18 through Pinto, if you know where that is.
Oh, yeah, I know where Pinto is.
So you drive just past Mountain Meadow, and then you turn to go towards Pinto, and you can take just a dirt road that goes through the mountains, through the hills, and you end up popping out about 15 miles or so from Cedar on the highway west of Cedar. I think it's Highway 56. Anyway, so we drove that road on Sunday, and it was a lot of fun. A lot of people out and about with it, being the weekend, Memorial Weekend. Lots of people out in that area. But we wanted to drive out there just because right now there's so many wildflowers with all the rain that we had.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
So it's just beautiful through there. So, so that's what we did, was just take a nice drive through the mountains. It was fun. It's a good time.
Love it,
Nothing
dude.
like hiking, though. Hiking in Bryce. You beat me to it, though.
Yeah.
On that. That's a good one.
We bought our National Parks Pass.
That's the way to do it.
We figured we're going to do some stuff in Zion and Bryce, and even when we take Landon up to the state of Washington, you know, there's some national parks up that way too that we plan on swinging on in and getting an up close and personal look. So
might as well.
And yes, I am getting old.
You got your parks pass.
Well,
were you able to get the senior discount?
Not because. How dare you?
Were you?
No, I didn't ask. I should have. No, I'm just responding to one of my buddies texted me. And yes, I'm confirming that I am getting old. Yes. Thanks, Troy.
Yeah, getting old. Anyways, lots to talk about though still. So with Game 6 ending the way it did, and we haven't been able to talk about Game 6 or Game 7 with the NBA Finals in the Eastern Conference Finals, I should say.
Dude,
Game 6 in itself could be a whole show. And I feel like we just have to breeze over Game 6 to get to Game 7. But that was the most insane ending to a Game 6 I've ever seen to send it to a Game 7.
And Game 7, you know, we talked about on air on Friday. I was like, hey, Miami's got to be careful here. If there's a Game 7,
it could be a Celtics win.
I thought for sure it would be a Celtics win. They have the momentum by winning 3 games in a row. They're playing on the vaunted, whatever that word is, Boston Garden. You know, that didn't happen.
No.
It did not. They kind of pooped the bed.
A little bit.
My goodness.
A little bit. It doesn't help that Jason Tatum went out with a sprained ankle. Not out. He still played, but let's be honest. He was down. He was not the same the rest of the game.
and they consistently were trying to fight back. I mean, it was basically a 10-point game the whole game. They could not get out of that 10-point range. At one point, I think they made it a 6-point differential between the Heat and the Celtics. Celtics kind of got close, but
tell me the flow of Game 6. Now, I mean, I know Boston wins at 104-103. I didn't watch the game. What was the flow of that game?
It was all Boston all the way, and then Miami just big old comeback and took the lead. And Boston led pretty much the whole game.
So in a strange way, I mean, even though they came up a point short, do you feel that they had the momentum at the end of that game?
At the very
end? Talking about Miami?
At the very end, I feel like Miami, the last little bit of that game, I was like, oh man, Miami's got this one. Like the way that they were playing, I'm like, they are fighting to win this game. And then getting ahead. Now, there's a lot of controversy here just because of the whole 2.1 seconds on the clock. They made it 3 seconds on the clock. It didn't look like a foul even occurred at all until at least 2.9. There's all of that going on. I don't necessarily want to get into all of that because the point is, to answer your question, Miami did have all of the momentum until White goes in and tips in that last shot to win the game.
Yeah.
So for me, I feel like Miami, I don't want to say they deserved it because, again, the Celtics were up the whole game. It's just Miami got back into it.
Yeah.
They got back into it, and they had their chance.
Because I don't know. I really thought if Boston could get this to a Game 7, they would have the momentum of winning 3 games in a row. They would have it on their home court. I really thought that they would have a legit shot of winning Game 7, and they just pooped the bed.
Well,
103-84. They didn't even show up.
I think a healthy Jason Tatum makes the difference. It really does. I don't know if it's a big enough difference to win the game.
Yeah.
But a healthy Jason Tatum is a difference maker.
Because that's a 19-point swing for one player. That's a lot of ground to make up.
It is. And again, I do think that a healthy Jason Tatum is different because he just did not play the game that he normally plays. I don't know if they win the game, though. I think Miami still wins the game, which is crazy. But, yeah. Now, no matter what happens in this finals, history will be made in one way or another. Either Denver gets their first finals win, which they've already made history just by showing up. They've never been in the finals. They now make history just by getting there. They can make history by winning the finals, and they will now be in the record books as a team that has won the finals. The Denver Nuggets are currently not a part of that list. They've never won one. Or if the Heat win, they will be the first 8th seed to win a finals.
I don't think if it was the Celtics or the Heat.
You don't think anyone stands a chance?
I don't think anybody stands a chance against Denver. And that pains me to say, because you know how you hate the city of Dallas?
Yeah.
I feel very, very similar to the city of Denver.
Yeah.
So that kind of hurts for me to say that a little bit.
Well, I know for a fact that you hate the Broncos.
Oh, boy.
I know you dislike the Rockies.
Yeah.
But the Rockies are like that annoying team where it's like, they're not good, but you also are just kind of like, if they do beat your team, you're like, ugh.
Yeah. Like, seriously, we lost to the Rockies. Come on, it's like going to Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh.
We need to get that on a hot button somewhere.
We do, dude.
Yeah, so I get it.
Yeah.
I get it, though. I don't care for I don't mind the Nuggets, I should
But, dude,
say.
the Nuggets, I just don't think anybody has an answer for Jokic.
No, he's too good.
I really don't.
Their starting lineup as a whole is just too good.
Man.
But they've been off for a week now. You know? It's going to be... They've had a lot of rest, whether you look at it as rest or whether you look at it as
rust.
Not staying up on their... Yeah, rest or rust. Are they staying up on their game?
You know, for a team like the Lakers, rest is fantastic. I think for a team
in your
like...
old age, yeah.
Yes, and a team like the Nuggets, though, I think it can... That first game, again, if the Heat are able to steal a game, I think it would be Game 1 in Denver because of the rust factor.
But if there have been any postseason injuries for Denver,
And I don't know off the top of my head if there has been any. And sometimes they keep those things under wraps and away from the media. So, tweaked ankles and sore backs and that kind of stuff. They've now had time to heal a lot of that stuff as well. While Miami's been playing on sore and tired bodies. So Denver has a better chance in that arena to go out and play a little better.
Well, but these are prime athletes.
True.
I would rather, me personally, if I had a team like the Nuggets, a younger team, that kind of thing,
Mm-hmm.
I would definitely want to be the Heat, like play, and then jump right into the next series, as opposed to the Nuggets winning 4 over the Lakers, sweeping, resting for a week. Yeah, you can kind of heal those nagging injuries if you did have some, but I think this is more of a detriment to the Nuggets. And I think if the Heat want to steal a game, it would be game 1. It would be game 1 because I think for the Nuggets, it's rust over rest. I think
so,
the rust factor would come in more so than the rest factor.
And that could be so. Guess we'll find out, won't we?
Yeah.
June 1st. Coming up, couple days.
Man,
Game
Jokic, Gordon, Porter Jr., Caldwell Pope. He was a Laker at one time.
Mm-hmm.
Jamal Murray. That's a good team, dude.
It's a good lineup.
Jokic, he's the man, though.
Yeah, he is.
He's the man among men.
I still think he deserved MVP this year, but
He still says, I saw a quote from him a few days ago that said he still believes Joel Embiid was
he'll say that because he's
deserving.
a good guy.
I know.
Nobody else in their right mind thinks that Jokic was worse than Embiid.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anybody, unless you ask, who was it, Mark Jackson, who didn't even put Jokic on his MVP ballot at all.
Jackson.
Yeah,
What a putz.
I don't like that guy. I feel like
Mark Jackson,
I
if
could
you're
get into
listening
that.
to the Fan Sports Network from the Bleachers, give us a call, 435-990-9950. We would like to ask you why you didn't have Jokic on your MVP ballot.
Yeah, because honestly, Jokic, to me, was the better player.
Oh, my gosh, the red button. I'm just kidding.
He's
Phone
not
call
calling.
coming in.
He's not calling. Let's get to a break. We got more coming up next. Stick around here with us on From the Bleachers.
Did you know that St. George News has a new app? Download the St. George News app today and stay up to date on everything happening in Southern Utah. Get instant notifications on news, weather, sports, and more. Download the app today and get your local news now.
Hey, it's Sheldon Demke. Check out the latest episode of What's on the Menu, a behind-the-scenes tour of local restaurants. We'll see some of their favorite dishes and get an inside look on how these dishes are prepared. Check out this week's episode at stgeorgenews.com and click the shows on the menu tab.
As a local business owner, it's important to get the word out about your business. More people equals more revenue for you. Get your business in front of over 160,000 people in southern Utah each week with St. George News. Contact St. George News today.
Media is everywhere. It's a part of our daily life, our routine. Not just for entertainment, but to stay informed. Local media has the biggest impact on your daily life. It's what's around you, what matters. And at Canyon Media, our goal is to deliver the very best in local entertainment, news, and media. From our award-winning radio stations like 99.9 Coney Country to Southern Utah's #1 source for local news, St. George News, we believe in delivering free, fast, and accurate local news, entertainment, and information to all of Southern Utah through our entertaining on-air personalities and music, compelling local shows, and community events like the City of St. George 4th of July celebration and charitable events like Coney Coins for Kids. From our entire team of dedicated designers, videographers, salespeople, digital marketers, writers, and on-air talent, thank you for letting us be a part of your daily life. Canyon Media, here for you.
Check out this week's edition of TGIF on stgeorgenews.com. TGIF is your weekend adventure guide to all the fun and exciting things going on in Southern Utah this weekend. Find this week's edition at stgeorgenews.com and click the shows on the menu tab. Have a blast this weekend.
Hey, it's Caden Formaster.
And Mark Musgrave, the voice you know with the Fan Sports Network.
Check out our local sports radio show From the Bleachers live every weekday from 4 to 6 p.m.
Listen to us on the radio on 99.5 or 95.3 FM.
You can also listen through the Fan Sports Network app or watch the show live on the Fan Sports Network YouTube page.
The Fan Sports Network is your home of Utah Tech Trailblazers, high school sports, and the pros.
The Fan Sports Network, Southern Utah's home for local sports. Welcome back in, everybody. It's From the Bleachers here on the Fan Sports Network, broadcasting out of the Findlay Hyundai studio. It's Caden Formaster, Mark Musgrave.
The voice you know. Now, Caden,
Yeah.
what is it about Florida right now where these lower seeds are just rolling through the playoffs? You know, we were just previously talking about the Miami Heat. The Florida, is it Panthers?
Congratulations. Yes.
The Florida Panthers, wild card number 2 in the NHL. You know, they knock off, the number 1 seed Boston Bruins. Oh, they won't get past the Toronto Maple Leafs. No, yeah, they did. 4-1. They just excused the Toronto Maple Leafs. Then they take on, who is that, Carolina?
Carolina Hurricanes.
The Carolina Hurricanes. And they knocked them off 4-0. This is a wild card team, and now they're going to meet the number 1 ranked Vegas Golden Knights. Go Knights, go. Caden, what say you?
I say that right now the Knights have the better team. They have the home advantage, the home ice advantage. That's what we call it in hockey. Home ice, we'll call it. But the Panther, here's the thing. I feel like right now the NHL and the NBA are mirroring each other
in
such a strange way, because there's a lot of different things that you can say about both sides, right? The comparisons being that compare the Golden Knights with the Nuggets, where it's like, hey, these are teams that have been playing well all season. They've made their way through to the finals. They did it in a fairly easy way. The only difference would be the Golden Knights got there second. Panthers were already there, right? But the Golden Knights getting to the finals is not that big of a surprise. Hockey fans who've been following all season, Golden Knights are just a good team. They're a deep team. They have a lot of great depth in different lines. So you know that they're going to come out and they're going to play a good game every single game. With Florida, though, they're a team where they're a good team, but you look at what Boston was doing this season, where they're out there just breaking records and playing really well. You have Toronto, who was having a solid season. You never know what Tampa Bay is going to bring to the table. Florida, I don't think, was ever a thought in anybody's mind of this is a team that's going to be competing in the Stanley Cup playoffs in the finals.
Well, they better take note because they have beat a 1 seed, they've beat a 2 seed, and then they beat another 1 seed. So Vegas Golden Knights better take note of what Florida's doing.
Yeah.
Or they could be the 3rd 1 seed that Florida sends packing. I don't think it's going to happen. Obviously, go Knights go here on this station. But Vegas Golden Knights don't take this team lightly. They've already sent 2 number 1 seeds packing.
Yeah.
Man.
Florida's all in right now. And that's the other thing, too. I feel like Florida is in a situation that kind of Denver was in, too, where it's like, I'm pretty sure that they have never won a finals. I don't think they've ever won the Stanley Cup.
I could be mistaken, but if I'm trying to remember correctly, I don't think Florida has ever won a Stanley Cup. Neither has Vegas, to be fair. They have been there, but Vegas did not win the Stanley Cup Finals. I believe that was the year, was it against Washington, maybe? They lost to Washington or to Tampa. But it was Washington or Tampa. I don't remember. But they have been there. They have been there. This is Vegas's best opportunity they've ever had at winning a finals is against this Florida Panther team. This is a team where you feel like they have to slow down at some point, right? Yeah. But then again, we've been saying the same thing about Miami with the NBA. You know, they got to slow down at some point, right? Well, they just don't. You know, these are teams that just, they have a lot of heart in them. They're not going to quit. And right now, I was going to say Miami, Florida is not quitting. They're not quitting. So I kind of like what they bring to the table. I'm rooting heavily for the Knights.
Right.
Just
of course we are.
Because they're our local team. So I'm obviously rooting for them. I'm a Knights fan. So yeah, I'm rooting Knights, but I will say it's not going to be a walk in the park. This could be a 6-7 game series.
And I'm a casual fan of hockey, especially my interest peaks a little bit more in the playoffs, but I need to sink my teeth more into hockey because it is, I mean, the clips that I do see and the stuff that I do follow is very, very exciting. Yeah. And I love how Vegas, the city of Vegas, has wrapped its arms around the Vegas Golden Knights. My goodness. They really do own that town. And we know that the NFL is king. But in Vegas, it is go Knights go, man. They own that town down in Las Vegas.
Well, it is so popular that ticket prices are insane.
Oh my gosh. Tell me about it.
If you were to a pair of tickets, okay? Who's buying just one ticket? Come on, you're buying
so
a pair
of tickets. Okay.
If you had to guess for on average, what a pair of tickets costs on average. I'm not talking about the most expensive. It's a big arena.
On average.
On average. Think on, a normal game, you're looking at a couple $100.
I would say that you're dropping probably $1,500 for a pair of tickets.
You're pretty close. They have it right now for Saturday. For Saturday, which is game one, you're looking at about $1,250.
Okay, for a pair of tickets.
Yep. Game 7, if it goes to a game 7, and again, ticket sales are already up for game 7, and then they would refund it if it doesn't go that far. Right. You're looking at a pair of tickets, $2,000 on average. Not for the most, not for the least. Right. $2,000 on average. So the most expensive, I don't even know what it is. Yeah, you're probably going to be, let's see, looking right here. This is via the Las Vegas Review-Journal. Game price for Game 7, if it goes maximum, $28,000 on the highest.
Right.
$28,000 for a ticket.
Oh, my God.
For one ticket.
Sorry. No, thank you.
With fees, you're looking at $30,000.
Really not for any sport, not just hockey, but basketball, football. That's just no, thank you.
Yeah, you don't want to shell out $30,000 to just go watch a game.
No,
you could buy a new car.
Oh my goodness!
Buy a new car, watch a hockey game.
People. That's incredible.
That is incredible. $30,000 for a ticket.
What's the most you've ever paid
for a ticket? For
any sporting event.
I'm cheap, so I don't know, like $150.
Okay, that's not bad though. I mean, what was it to? Jazz?
No, it was and this was like including fees and stuff. It was last summer when I went to an Angels game and I was right behind home plate.
That's right.
I was like on the third row behind home plate, and I was like, hey, for $150, this is and it was Mets Angels, so a lot of big names.
Sure.
I'm like, $150 for this ticket? Yeah, I'll take it.
I think mine would have been baseball as well. Dodger game, on the first base side. Yeah, probably 100. I think last year we spent 120 to 150 per. Yeah. So yeah, that's I haven't spent much more than that either.
And luckily that one was just me because it's me and my brother, and so he paid for himself, I paid for myself. And whatnot. But yeah, 150 or so. And it might have been shy of that just a little bit. But yeah, it was, hey, I can't. It was the day of, too. It was day of. We were just like, hey, we're getting there earlier than we thought we would. Let's go to the game tonight. So day of is it probably would have been more expensive.
Well, they've got those apps, those third
That's what
party.
we used was the Game Time app
The Game
or whatever
Time app,
it was.
yeah.
Yeah. So we had some because we thought about, man, if we stayed an extra day. So we were looking on that app, and there were some for like because we went Friday and Saturday. The Sunday game, the tickets were like, I don't know, it was like $20 to be out in like right field or something.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't bad at all. Some of those are pretty cool.
Yeah. Hey, I know we're coming up here to the top of the hour break.
20 seconds.
So we got another guest coming in at the 5 o'clock hour. We'll be talking some more about that press conference today. And plus, did you hear what Scottie Pippen said about Michael Jordan?
Yes, I did.
We will talk more about that in the second hour.
All right, stick around with us here on From the Bleachers.
Did you know that St. George News has a new app? Download the St. George News app today and stay up to date on everything happening in Southern Utah. Get instant notifications on news, weather, sports, and more. Download the app today and get your local news now.
Hey, it's Sheldon Demke. Check out the latest episode of What's on the Menu, a behind-the-scenes tour of local restaurants. We'll see some of their favorite dishes and get an inside look on how these dishes are prepared. Check out this week's episode at stgeorgenews.com and click the shows on the menu tab.
As a local business owner, it's important to get the word out about your business. More people equals more revenue for you. Get your business in front of over 160,000 people in southern Utah each week with St. George News. Contact St. George News today.
Media is everywhere. It's a part of our daily life, our routine, not just for entertainment, but to stay informed. Local media has the biggest impact on your daily life. It's what's around you, what matters. And at Canyon Media, our goal is to deliver the very best in local entertainment, news, and media. From our award-winning radio stations like 99.9 Coney Country to Southern Utah's #1 source for local news, St. George News, we believe in delivering free, fast, and accurate local news, entertainment, and information to all of Southern Utah through our entertaining on-air personalities and music, compelling local shows, and community events like the City of St. George 4th of July celebration and charitable events like Coney Corns for Kids. From our entire team of dedicated designers, videographers, salespeople, digital marketers, writers, and on-air talent, thank you for letting us be a part of your daily life. Canyon Media, here for you.
Check out this week's edition of TGIF on stgeorgenews.com. TGIF is your weekend adventure guide to all the fun and exciting things going on in southern Utah this weekend. Find this week's edition at stgeorgenews.com and click the shows on the menu tab. Have a blast this weekend.
Hey, it's Caden Formaster.
And Mark Musgrave, the voice you know with the Fan Sports Network.
Check out our local sports radio show From the Bleachers live every weekday from 4 to 6 p.m.
Listen to us on the radio on 99.5 or 95.3 FM.
You can also listen through the Fan Sports Network app or watch the show live on the Fan Sports Network YouTube page.
The Fan Sports Network is your home of Utah Tech Trailblazers, high school sports, and the pros.
The Fan Sports Network, Southern Utah's home for local sports.
Welcome back in, everybody. It's from the Bleachers here on the Fan Sports Network, broadcasting from the Findlay Hyundai studio. Caden Formaster, Mark Musgrave.
The voice, you know.
Mark, I can see you texting on the screen right now, too, for our YouTube viewers.
You know, I feel
it's great content.
Well, I feel like Shefty and all those guys, you know, when they're getting their breaking news. And
breaking news.
I just got some breaking news from the GM over at the Las Vegas Raiders facility.
Oh.
And
he texts you personally?
Yeah, Derek Carr.
David Carr's a little older.
Derek Carr is going to play for the New Orleans Saints this year.
Are you sure that's breaking news?
I'm just playing with you.
I think that happened a while ago. You know, there is some question about Jimmy Garoppolo.
What?
He didn't pass his physical.
Oh, no, they're just getting it. His foot's he's fine.
But here's the thing. The
He's
Raiders, if they decide that they want to opt out, because if he's not healthy by the time the season starts, the Raiders could actually ditch his contract and not have to pay him a dime.
I don't think that's going to happen.
I don't think it's going to happen either.
Well,
but I'm just saying it is also something that is possible.
For some reason, Jimmy G put off the foot surgery that he was supposed to have. Well, the reason why is because he thought he could just do rehab as he was a San Francisco 49er and then get back, you know, for the playoffs and that kind of stuff. That's why he put off the foot surgery. So, and that's what that's all it is.
He was going to go to rehab, but he said no.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Is that
a song? That's a song, my friend.
Oh. It wasn't from that song wasn't from 1980 to 1989.
I'm pretty sure it was in the 90s.
Really? Well, see, that I wouldn't know anything about the 90s unless it's country.
It was in between our generations. Yeah. How are we supposed to know?
Unless it was country, I didn't know. But no, there's really nothing there. He's just going to have that procedure on his foot. And trust me, Josh McDaniels trusts Jimmy G for sure.
Yeah.
So
he does.
I don't think there's anything there at all. He will be dressing up in silver and black and delivering bombs to Devontae Adams.
Yeah, for sure. Well, we promised we would be talking more LPGA.
Yeah.
And for our YouTube viewers, you can see David hopping in. He's going to be hopping on the mic here
David
shortly.
B, how you doing?
Great.
Oh, let's turn his mic on. There we go.
Mic on.
I'm doing great. How you guys?
My goodness, dude. Such awesome news today.
I know.
I haven't stopped smiling all day long. I bet you haven't either.
I haven't either. I'm exhausted. There's so many people calling and texting saying, "Is this real? Is this real?" I was like, "Yep, it's pretty real." St. George, Southern Utah, Ivans. We have a major sports franchise. That's the way I look at it.
Yeah.
From the mainstream sports world here, finally in Southern Utah, and I think a lot of the people we invited out who were, not internal people or stakeholders, they were more community people, people that we brought over from the other LPGA event in the Epson event in Hurricane. They kind of connected the dots. We were telling the whole time, hey, the big ladies are coming. And they were like, really? And then they got out there. They're like, they're coming. This is it. This is happening at Black Desert Resort, and they could not be more thrilled. They are spreading the word like it's like wildfire.
Yeah. Well, and I was telling Caden earlier, we had Gina on, and we're just talking about the status of girls and women's golf, not just in the state of Utah, but in southern Utah. My goodness, it is robust. It is healthy right now.
It is. If you look at the last 10 years when it comes to junior golf, especially girls golf, it's shocking. Actually, if you go back 12 years and you look at how many high schools in the state of Utah had girls teams, you would be shocked at how many didn't.
Wow.
And there's numbers out there that said, hey, there were only like 100 girls involved just in Utah County. Now there's like 1,200.
Wow.
Girls involved with girls golf, and it's growing, just like women's soccer.
Yeah.
It just catapulting, those franchise fees for NWSL. Here's a great stat. great. I mean, this is a fact that you can't deny, but you have to discuss it, right?
Sure.
So when you're thinking about pro sports, that people think in terms of what they see now, right? They don't
Right.
they don't understand how long it took to get there, like the NBA, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
There are former legends. They're like, I wish I could be playing in the NBA now.
Yeah.
And those guys
Right.
built it, and now the values are so high. But and I'm going to get to this point about the LPGA when in 1984 when I was watching the Boston LA series,
Mm-hmm.
I'm watching it and I'm mad at my mom because I don't understand why the NBA in '84 was tape delayed at 11 p.m. I was the East Coast, 11 p.m. to watch my Lakers, led by Magic Johnson. Why? Well, even then, they still had to. It didn't hit mainstream, the media, the values, and then it clicked. Right. So here's my big fact. So women's golf, the NWSL is $1.3 million salary cap for the season. One tournament for the LPGA is 2 seasons, 2 teams.
Wow.
It's like a 2.5 million average, what they're doing right now.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, we're growing. So can you just imagine in the next 10 years when the media finally connects the dots like they did back with Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, and
right.
the NBA? We all have to go through this process. It's not like this men versus women thing. It's not. It's let's catch up to see the values, right? And so years ago, even soccer, men's soccer in this country, we couldn't stand men's soccer.
Yeah.
0-0 did not do it for Americans.
And ties.
And ties. But which was an oxymoron because we can watch a baseball game and appreciate 1-0.
Yeah.
In a baseball game.
Yeah.
Right? And packed stadiums. And so it just takes time. And so what's going to happen is in 10 years from now, women's golf is just going, the prize monies are all increasing and they deserve it because if you've ever loved golf and you played it like I do and you do, and we're not that good at it, and then you get out there, you play with these women and they are incredible. They can hit it longer than 99% of the men.
Sure.
Maybe the PGA Tour man, they can hit it, farther. Fine, give you that.
They're the 1%ers.
They are.
They're freaks.
But from the fairway to the green, it's all even.
Yeah.
It's all even. And that's where it's shocking. It's like, oh my goodness, these women are so good.
Yeah.
And I couldn't be more thrilled with you, Mark, with you, Keaton.
Well, and it's like we were talking earlier, and I hope it didn't come off the wrong way. What I was saying is they play a more similar game than what we do. Like an 8-iron for them, for the women, probably 160 yards, as opposed to John Rahm's 8-iron is 190 yards.
Oh yeah.
That's freakish.
Yeah.
I don't know anybody that plays that style of golf. I just don't know anybody.
Sure.
I play with some pretty good golfers, and that's just freakish. But the women's golf, I think, is more yardage friendly to us. Like that's the club I would use.
Yes.
And stuff like that. And we've talked about this at many lunches that we've had.
Oh yeah.
I am so into the LPGA Tour. It's incredible. I follow a lot of them on Instagram, stuff like that, and it's fantastic.
Yeah. The one thing I hear from executives who play a lot, I really don't play a lot. I wish I did, but there are corporate executives who play a lot.
Yeah.
Okay. And they're pretty good when you go out there with them. They'll tell you that, hey, one, it's their swing. For some reason, they watch the swing and their swing is so good, so pure. That's one. And then the other one is the game. They make it believable.
Mm-hmm. Yes, exactly.
They make it it's like okay, and they're still better, and they're great. In our eyes, they're like, oh my gosh, how did you do that? But their game is so believable, and they do it so it's just fluid. And that's what I'm hearing back from the executive. The third thing I hear back from the executives, and this is huge, are the pro-ams. So the pro-ams is where we come along and we get to play with the best women golfers, the best men golfers, and in this case, the best women. And the one thing I have been hearing religiously for 7 years is that the executives who are playing in the LPGA pro-ams, they are absolutely sold. It's a better experience for them. Mm-hmm. That's what they're saying to me.
Yeah, I would believe it.
Yeah, I'm not saying it is better than the PGA Tour, but they are saying this is
the
experience is great with the women. Yeah. And you and I, we've been to the LPGA Epson Tour, and the ladies are great.
We've had our taste of it, and it is awesome.
It's not just the play, but their personality. They're engaging.
Yes.
And then there's Daniela Acabelli, who we
Yes.
all love.
we love
We
Daniela.
all love Daniela because she's got that personality. She's just one of us.
Yeah.
And she's out there having fun. And I think that we can relate
Yes.
to that.
Yes, absolutely.
You know, we can't relate to it if you're above us, and we know that, and we can't reach you with your personality. They're just awesome to play with.
Well, and even with girls sports here at the high school level, you know, where I PA announce for both girls and boys basketball and volleyball, but for the girls, you know, I will go to the away games for the girls as well, just to support them.
Sure.
And the one thing about girls over boys, because boys, they go to this, you know, to the gym. Let's just talk basketball. They go to the gyms to a packed house.
Yes.
Okay. Girls basketball is not that way.
Yep.
And I think girls appreciate the support more so than boys do. And I'm not saying that the boys are doing anything wrong.
Nope.
They're not.
They're
They're
not.
not doing anything wrong. But the girls actually reach out to you. They'd come up to me and say, Mark, thank you for coming. You know, and it would even be that way on a professional level, I'm sure, as well.
Oh, no,
where
it is.
they appreciate more the support
Yep.
than the men do.
No, I agree. I think you and I had that experience where the first year we did the LPGA Epson event in
Mhm.
Hurricane. I don't know if you were with me when walking there, and 5 of the LPGA Epson players came up, and 2 were in tears because we built that Champions Club
Yeah.
for them. And they were like, no one does that for us.
Yeah. It's amazing.
And then it was packed. And
Yeah.
then they were like, oh my gosh, this is great. The other thing that was amazing, now this is true in the sense of PGA Tour golf. You know, you've got your cities like, you know, like Austin, Texas, that has, you know, incredible PGA Tour events. Texas has like 6 events. Florida has like 4, and California has like 8, and their hospitality structures are packed full of people,
Mhm.
VIP. But there was this scene in January. I was at the Tournament of Champions LPGA event. I think it's the first year that kicks off the season. And there was this one VIP club that was on the 9th green, and I was there for hours, and I wasn't in the club. I was there just going back and forth. Those people did not move from their seat. There wasn't one that moved the entire time.
Right.
I'm like, this is actually pretty cool.
That is amazing.
I don't know. It just caught my eye, but they did not move from. There's like 250 people, and they did not want to move from their seat. Then Annika comes up, and I think
Yeah.
that might have been part of it.
Yeah.
Because when she came up, I was just kind of in awe because her stroke is just still great. And do you know that she retired 17 years ago?
That's amazing to me.
I can't believe that.
I would lose big money if somebody would have asked me that. I think no, 8 years ago tops.
One of the
10 years ago tops.
One of the executives from the LPGA, he told me that. I was like, no, she didn't. She just retired like 7 years. No, it's 17.
Oh my
I'm
gosh.
like, oh my goodness, really?
Dude,
Wow.
time is flying.
And she's still great. She's still
Jeez.
great. We wish we could have her come and visit, you know, Black Desert, but we'll see about that.
I'll bet you've got some feelers out. Now, looking at the schedule here, I talked to Gina about this a little bit as
Yeah.
well. You know, I've got the schedule pulled up for this year, and it's going to be similar. I mean, obviously with some dates being a little bit different, but you've got the JM Eagle LA Championship, April 27th through the 30th.
Yes.
That's this year. And then they go up I-5 to San Francisco to the Hanwha Life Plus International Crown. That's May 4th through the 7th. I'm assuming that the Black Desert Resort's going to be smashed in between there, or they're going to widen that a little bit.
That's a great, interesting question, because that is the date that they've given us.
Okay.
So our official date is May 1st through the 4th, 2025.
Okay.
And to be honest, when we approached the LPGA Tour and we got to a certain point where we started really negotiating and asking for dates, we asked for a range. We didn't ask for a specific date. And it's the owner, Patrick Manning, who he made the call, and they showed us their dates for that year, starting in 25. And the only date available was the first week of May, and there was 5 in front and 4 behind that date that were all taken. And they said, that's the only date. And Patrick, I was like, that's the only date. We can't do this in June. If we did this in June, end of June,
too hot,
way too hot, especially for our demographic here who are going to support as volunteers.
Yes, absolutely.
We have to, look out for them. And he's like, we have to take it. So we took it. So it's contractual. It's the first week of May, starting in 25.
I like it though.
I do
I
too.
feel like it's
Boy,
a good time.
it would have been perfect having it this weekend starting.
Oh, it would have.
I mean,
This
my
morning was
goodness.
great.
This morning
Oh,
was
it was-
perfect out there.
Yeah, we gave them the range of the first week of April and to May 15th. We said, if there's anything there, please just let us have first dibs. And that was the only date.
And I'm hoping that we play the press conference a little bit later in our show, but talk to us a little bit about the infrastructure, that what went in. Is this going to cause, havoc around Ivans and Santa Clara? And also too, two-part question, what's the economic impact that this is going to bring to Southern Utah?
Okay, so let's go to the first one.
First question.
Yeah, so the traffic,
Mm-hmm.
the impact when it comes to that, it will not be like the other awesome event that Southern Utah has, the Ironman.
Yes,
because that's
correct.
That's like a 100-mile impact.
Yeah,
Yeah.
something like
Yeah,
that.
of
Well, and they're
roads.
on the roads
Yeah.
and shutting
Yeah.
down streets and things like that. Yeah.
It won't be like that. The only place that will have impact will be Snow Canyon Boulevard,
Okay. Uh-huh. Snow Canyon Parkway.
the Parkway,
Mhm.
and but we have to have busing shuttle plans. Like Tuacahn is going to be one. We're going to have the most likely the Dixie Convention Center, which is only a 14-minute ride from the convention center to Black Desert.
Mm-hmm.
The resort has to have primary PGA players first, caddies, then tournament staff, volunteers. Even the volunteers may have to park at Tuacahn and be shuttled in.
Right.
It's we're going to get there and we're working, but it's a little bit more complex. But we are doing everything in our power to kind of deflate the traffic. But obviously, at some points, there will be traffic on Snow Canyon. It will not be downtown on Bluff or Dixie.
Yeah, right.
That's not where it's going to happen. And what's really cool about it and why we can say that is that the players are going to be housed at the hotel on site. And so the players, the caddies, the family members, it's there. Red Mountain Resort there. It's not going to be, all these players coming from everywhere and they're around town and they're going to have to be bussed in.
Other tournaments like the Chevron Championship and the JM Eagle LA Championship, is that what happens at those places? Are they staying on site, the players and the caddies?
I've spoken to, and Patrick and I have spoken to the executives there, and we've asked about that, and they said that what we have is very rare on tour. So it's not like there are some like PGA National where the Honda Classic used to be in Coral Springs or in Palm Beach.
Mm-hmm.
They have on site that's a resort.
Okay.
Pebble Beach, obviously resort.
Yep.
But it's not always like that. Like Torrey Pines is a public.
Sure.
That they have to come from everywhere else. We are expecting attendance about 30 to 40% of our attendees to come from northern Utah, and the rest will come from southern Utah, Mesquite, Vegas.
I was going to say there should be a good pull from Vegas.
There's going to be a great pull from Southern California, from Vegas, and from Mesquite for our event. I can't speak for other. So there are many other cities that come here during those time periods from around the country and the world.
Yeah.
But that's what we're aiming for, are those kind of regions in our area of the country. But to go on the economic impact, obviously we can't give you numbers of, long-standing tour events where they're coming with 80 million, 100 million. I think Waste Management, the tour, told us that they have a $592 million.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Which is incredible. Okay?
Yeah, that's crazy.
And they have, I think, a tournament attendance week of 720,000 people, which is insane, right? So we're projecting about 15,000 per day for the PGA Tour event. And then we are expecting 10,000 per day for the LPGA Tour event.
And this is going to be an uptick in restaurants, hotels.
Yeah. So the
other
average,
golf courses.
Yes. The average standard impact for a tour event, say the fall event series, is about $20 to $25 million per tournament. So we are expecting, with the combined eventually the about $40 million of economic, $40 to $50 million economic impact for the events.
Amazing.
That's crazy. That's good. Which, again, that's it's money in locals' pockets,
Yeah.
right? That's just to house an event like this over the course of about a week or so, right? It's so wonderful to have something like this in the community, and what a better place to have it than out there at Black Desert. Again, we were out there today for the press conference.
Oh my gosh,
And
it's gorgeous.
tell us a little bit about the course, because they've done a great job with it.
Yeah, the course is incredible. If you guys were there when Patrick Manning, the owner, and really we have to spend some time talking about Patrick and that vision that he's had since he's had that property since 2004.
Right.
He's had this vision for many years,
Jeez.
and now here it is. And there was a true, genuine affection for Tom Weiskopf.
Yes.
And
you could tell in that press conference today, too. You could tell.
You could tell
Absolutely.
he was holding back.
Yes.
He was holding back. He was his voice was cracking. I was like, oh, don't crack
Yeah.
back.
Yeah.
But it was true. It was genuine. There was a lot of love for this guy, Tom Weiskopf. He made an impact. He had an impact on everyone there, especially Patrick Manning. And so when he came in and started working with them, it just popped. The golf course just popped the way he designed it. And then we really felt the impact of Tom Weiskopf when we were talking to the LPGA Tour, and they were like, "Wait, who built it? Tom Weiskopf?" So they came out,
Raise some eyebrows.
Oh, it raised eyebrows. Oh, this is great.
Yeah.
This is great. And then the PGA Tour got wind of Weiskopf, and this was his last course. And they did that special on the Masters. During the Masters, so the final round, the documentary on Weiskopf, and then they said, yeah, Black Desert was his last course, and we're going to name one of the clubs at Black Desert, Club 73, because we were the 73rd course. But other than that, it was great. It was great.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
I was trying to explain to somebody today the size of the putting green, the practice green. That is huge.
That was. I think it's 2 acres.
It's 2 acres.
I think it's 2 acres.
I think I heard somebody say 36 holes in the putting in
Oh
the
my
practice
gosh.
area.
That's accurate.
Is
That's
that
accurate.
right? 36 holes?
That is accurate.
So if you can imagine, you're not cramming 36 holes into what you've probably seen at other places. I mean, this is 2 acres of just a practice putting green is insane.
Yep. Yeah. When I saw it, I was like, I was impressed. I've never seen anything like that before. And so I was Patrick and Tom Weiskopf and everything that's there. There's so much more that's going into Black Desert that you need to have Patrick Manning on. He's all props have to go to him with his vision and what he's doing and the vision behind the LPGA Tour and the other managing partners.
Yeah.
They are 100% behind the LPGA Tour. It's really cool to see. And these guys they love golf. I mean, they play it every day. They are executive golfers, and they're great at what they do, but they are all behind the LPGA for many, many years to come.
Man, spring of 2025, May 1st is the date. We will have the LPGA Tour right here in Southern Utah, more specifically, and this blows my mind saying it out loud, in Ivins, Utah. I grew up in Ivins, and it just blows my mind, David. It blows my mind.
I know. It's cool for me because 3 years ago I came here and I was working on the Epson event, and I was just looking at this Black Desert course. I'm like, I don't know what it is, but that course is really special right now. The Snow Canyon, Red Rock, it's just a very unique scenic view for golf.
Yeah.
You got Pebble Beach, you've got other grand areas in the world for pro golf, but man, that's going to rival some views.
And
For sure.
when the ladies come, men normally follow.
Yes.
Stay tuned.
That's funny. Yes, they do follow. Hey, 70% of the viewers and spectators are men for LPGA golf.
Yeah.
So they follow the women.
Absolutely.
That's true.
Love
That's
it.
true. David, thanks for joining us. We're super excited, and we're definitely going to have you back on as this event gets closer and closer. And I feel like it's going to be here before you know it.
It will. It will. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thanks, David.
All right, we're going to take a break. More coming up next. Stick around.
Did you know that St. George News has a new app? Download the St. George News app today and stay up to date on everything happening in Southern Utah. Get instant notifications on news, weather, sports, and more. Download the app today and get your local news now.
Hey, it's Sheldon Demke. Check out the latest episode of What's on the Menu, a behind-the-scenes tour of local restaurants. We'll see some of their favorite dishes and get an inside look on how these dishes are prepared. Check out this week's episode at stgeorgenews.com and click the shows on the menu tab.
As a local business owner, it's important to get the word out about your business. More people equals more revenue for you. Get your business in front of over 160,000 people in southern Utah each week with St. George News. Contact St. George News today.
Media is everywhere. It's a part of our daily life, our routine. Not just for entertainment, but to stay informed. Local media has the biggest impact on your daily life. It's what's around you, what matters. And at Canyon Media, our goal is to deliver the very best in local entertainment, news, and media. From our award-winning radio stations like 99.9 Coney Country to Southern Utah's #1 source for local news, St. George News, we believe in delivering free, fast, and accurate local news, entertainment, and information to all of Southern Utah through our entertaining on-air personalities and music, compelling local shows, and community events like the City of St. George 4th of July celebration and charitable events like Coney Coins for Kids. From our entire team of dedicated designers, videographers, salespeople, digital marketers, writers, and on-air talent, thank you for letting us be a part of your daily life. Canyon Media, here for you.
Check out this week's edition of TGIF on stgeorgenews.com. TGIF is your weekend adventure guide to all the fun and exciting things going on in southern Utah this weekend. Find this week's edition at stgeorgenews.com and click the shows on the menu tab. Have a blast this weekend.
Hey, it's Caden Formaster.
And Mark Musgrave, the voice you know with the Fan Sports Network.
Check out our local sports radio show From the Bleachers live every weekday from 4 to 6 p.m.
Listen to us on the radio on 99.5 or 95.3 FM.
You can also listen through the Fan Sports Network app or watch the show live on the Fan Sports Network YouTube page.
The Fan Sports Network is your home of Utah Tech Trailblazers, high school sports, and the pros.
The Fan Sports Network, Southern Utah's home for local sports. Welcome back in, everybody. It's From the Bleachers. Now, we promised we're going to get into our press conference from earlier today. So we're just going to take this moment and hop right back on into it. So we got the press conference queued up for you. This was the announcement of the LPGA coming into St. George. Here it is for you.
This opportunity to welcome you all to our press conference here at Black Desert Resort. I'm Christina Lance, Communications Director with the LPGA, and we are thrilled to be here today. What's certainly an exciting announcement coming up, some exciting news with the LPGA and Black Desert. You'll be hearing from several panelists today. Casey Seaman, LPGA's Vice President of Tournament Business Affairs, Deidre Henderson, Lieutenant Governor of the State of Utah, Brittany McMichael, Director of Greater Zion, and then Patrick Manning, Managing Partner of Black Desert Resort. This is an absolutely spectacular venue. Thank you all for having us today. It's my first time in Utah, and I can't imagine a better way to start this relationship. At this time, I'm going to turn things over to my colleague Casey Seaman to officially let you know why we're here today. Casey?
What a turnout. Thanks everybody for being here. It's a very special day for us. As Christina mentioned, I'm our Vice President of Tournament Business Affairs here at the LPGA. And we couldn't be more excited to be here at Black Desert Resort. And I want to start off by thanking Patrick Manning and his entire team. We've been working long and hard on this for the past, 5 or 6 months now. It's come together beautifully. We're so excited to be here. But Patrick and his team have been very dedicated to our mission of the LPGA. And they came to us with this idea, and it's an event that they're going to be very proud of, and we can't wait to kick off at the LPGA. Lieutenant Governor Henderson, thank you for being here today. As many of you know, the LPGA was last here in the state of Utah 60 years ago. So it's excited to be coming back to the state, and thanks for taking the time to be here today. Brittany McMichael, appreciate what Greater Zion Convention and Tourism Office is doing for this event. We appreciate the support that you're providing on helping us get this event off the ground, so thanks for being here. And as we've hinted at as a group, we are just super excited to be here today on Women's Golf Day and on the heels of Black Desert Resort's opening weekend, which was a great success from all accounts. And we're excited to announce that we will be bringing an LPGA event here to Black Desert Resort in the spring of 2025. So let's get Patrick and his team. And just a little bit of background, as many of you know, the LPGA is the longest running female sports organization in the country. It's something we're very proud of. It was founded in 1950 by 13 women who we affectionately call our 13 founders. We just hosted our Founders Cup, one of our flagship LPGA events a few weeks ago in New Jersey. And from very humble beginnings to this year in 2023, we're going to be playing for over $100 million for the first time in our history. You know, really, we just can't wait to get here to Utah. 2025 can't come fast enough for us. I know the team here is really excited. But with that said, I'm going to turn it over to some of the stars of the show here. Thanks again for having us, and I appreciate everyone being here today.
Thanks, Casey. We're very excited to be here for the Black Desert Championship in spring of 2025. Just to give you a little background, as Casey said, it's been 60 years since the LPGA Tour has been here. The 1964 Riverside Ladies Open in Provo, won by Clifford and Creed. We were also here in Utah the previous 2 years. The 1963 Ogden Ladies Open in Ogden, won by the great Kathy Whitworth. And the 1962 Salt Lake City Open in Salt Lake City, won by the great Mickey Wright. That's quite a lineage of LPGA champions here in the state of Utah, and very excited to add another name to that list. At this time, I'm going to turn things over to the Lieutenant Governor, Deidre Henderson, for a few comments.
Thank you. My name is Deidre Henderson. I'm the 9th Lieutenant Governor of the great state of Utah. And to those of you who just came in from LPGA, I would like to officially welcome you to the best state in the nation. And not just making that up. I mean, last month, U.S. News and World Report, after dozens of metrics and analysis, made a very objective observation that we've known for a long time, but I guess now word is out that Utah is the best state in the nation. And there are a lot of reasons for that. One of the indicators that puts us up there at the top is our economy. We have a wonderful economy, and a big part of that economy is tourism. Now, I don't know if maybe all of you already came to Southern Utah a lot before the pandemic, but I know that tourism kind of exploded down here, right, Commissioner? During the pandemic, we saw a lot of growth in the desire for outdoor recreation. Utah's known worldwide for a few things. We're known for our snow. We're known for the fact that we hosted the Olympics in 2002. We're known for our national parks. We call them the Mighty Five. But we're less known, and now word is starting to leak out, we're less known for what all of the opportunities that abound in southern Utah, especially in Greater Zion. And we're really, really excited for Black Desert to be a part of that. So congratulations to Black Desert on their opening. I send the regards of Governor Cox. I bring the well wishes of him. And we are so excited. We're absolutely thrilled to welcome the LPGA Tour in a couple of years, in 2025. We're really, really excited. Now, in general, we love our tourism industry. We love golf as it brings tourists to the state of Utah, especially to southern Utah. So in general, this is a really good thing for the state of Utah. But in particular, I want to talk a little bit about golf, and especially about women's golf. Now, I'm not a golfer. I have golfed. Okay, I'm a golfer. I'm really not a great. I make all of you feel really good about yourselves. If you were to hit the links with me, I actually went with my husband last night. I grew up. There were 8 kids in my family, 4 girls, 4 boys. Golf was something that the boys did. And when I got married young, had 5 kids really fast. I had my 5th baby by the time I was 28. Golf was something that my husband did. And golf was something that I watched all the kids while my husband did. So for a long time, I felt a little bit left out of sport of golf. And then I had this epiphany. I don't know, anyone ever heard the saying, if you can't beat them, join them? So instead of complaining that my husband was always wanting to spend his days off on the golf course, I decided to start joining him. And I got involved in politics, and I realized that if I wanted to kind of be on an equal footing with some of my colleagues, I needed to be able to hit a golf ball. Now it's a lot of swings and misses for me. But it has been so much fun the past 10 or 12 years to realize that this is something that's not for other people. That this is a game that's for me. And I am so excited to have the LPGA come and show other women and girls in the state of Utah that golf is for them. Golf is a place where we can connect, a place where we can network. And connection right now, more than anything, is so important. We live in a hyper-polarized world. Everything is politicized. People are mad. They're looking for reasons to be mad about something. But the golf course can help us connect with people on a very real level. It can also help us get to know people, get to know ourselves. I have said words on the golf course that would make a drunken congressman blush. And that's the beauty of golf. So I am thrilled for this beautiful opportunity here. A new course, one that's sustainable. We've had a drought, a big drought in the past few years, and I'm really proud of the efforts that were made to keep that in mind, to keep water conservation and sustainability in mind in the development of this course. I'm a big believer in the and we can have the wonderful recreation opportunities that we want and need here in the state of Utah, and in southern Utah in particular. And I'm really proud of Black Desert for their efforts there. Thank you for the opportunity to share this event today. I'm looking forward to 2025, spring of 2025, and I'm looking forward more specifically to Gina Higbee and other pros like her helping women throughout the state of Utah understand that learning how to smash a drive will help them smash those glass ceilings. Thank you very much.
Can I hire you to please give every promotional speech for the LPGA? That was amazing. Thank you. And as you mentioned, something else we're very proud of at the LPGA, golf is for everyone. You mentioned Gina Higbee, one of our LPGA teaching professionals in the audience. Through our LPGA Foundation, our women's network, our LPGA USGA Girls Golf Program, which this year will reach its 1 millionth girl. The LPGA is proud to bring women from all backgrounds, all ages to the game, and that's just a part of what we do. So thank you very much for your support. Next, we're going to turn it over to Brittany McMichael with Greater Zion to tell us more about this spectacular area we're in and the importance of bringing this event to the area. Brittany.
Well, I would like to officially welcome the LPGA to the greatest county in the greatest state in the United States. We are so excited to partner with Black Desert to host the 2025 LPGA Championship. Golf is such an important part of our tourism story here in Greater Zion. Let me take you back a few years to 1930 when Heber J. Grant declared, "What this town needs is a new hotel and a golf course." Pretty straightforward, right? The new hotel would come fairly quickly, but the golf course would take more than 30 years. In 1960, the conversation gained some traction when the local St. George Chamber of Commerce president, Sid Atkin, and a local businessman, Neil Lundgren, teamed up and convinced the St. George City Council to donate a parcel of property and bond for $60,000 to build the course. The first 7 holes of Dixie Red Hills opened on July 4th, 1965, with 2 additional holes opened later, a couple of months later. Fast forward to today, Black Desert is our 14th golf course in Washington County. I often wonder what those original tourism visionaries would think if they could see Washington County now and see a resort like Black Desert. I think they would be amazed and impressed. The opening of Dixie Red Hills, along with the widespread use of air conditioning, really launched Washington County as a tourism destination. And golf continues to be a critical component in our tourism portfolio. Golf infused over $131 million into our local economy in 2022. The opening of Black Desert Resort will certainly up that number moving forward. This unique opportunity to host the LPGA will benefit the entire golf community in Greater Zion. Although the tournament will be played here at Black Desert, our 13 other beautiful courses will be introduced to a new and large audience. The diversity and beauty of our unique landscape will be on full display. The dramatic black lava, the lush green fairways, the brilliant blue skies, and the rich red rock show off better than any other destination in the world. As we prepare to host some of the top female golfers in the world, we expect to experience an influx of people to the area, generating strong economic impact with little impact to our infrastructure. No closed roads or neighborhoods, right, Patrick? We hope that both athletes and spectators attending the LPGA Championship will have the opportunity to experience all of the other wonders in Greater Zion, including miles and miles of hiking, biking, and pedestrian trails, 4 magnificent state parks, the beautiful Tuacahn Amphitheater, and of course, our mighty Zion National Park. We can't wait to welcome the LPGA to Greater Zion in May of 2025. Thank you.
Thank you, Brittany. If you take a look at the social media channels for any of our players, you see they love a good hike. So I have absolutely no doubt they will be out in all of this beauty, certainly when they come out for practice rounds and when they come out for the actual event. Before we close, we're going to turn things over to Patrick Manning, here with Black Desert to give us some more story behind the how this beautiful course has come together. Patrick.
Thank you, Christina. I'll be brief, but welcome everybody. We take it very seriously, the stewardship that's been bestowed upon us with this land and the golf course and an LPGA tournament. On behalf of Reef Capital Partners and Black Desert, I just want to make sure you understand that we take it so seriously. We're going to give the best experience to the best women golfers in the world and also for their friends and their fans. I wasn't going to single anyone out, but I feel the need to just bring about what it meant to have Tom Weiskopf involved in this as his final and 73rd golf course design. It was evident every single day, from the beginning to the end, that he had so much passion for this course. And we miss him every day, but I can't help but think that he's here celebrating this with us, and he'll be here with us in May of 25, having everybody see what a fantastic course this is. That's all I have to say. I want to keep it short. We will be able to break out and answer questions and give some tours of the golf course to people who would like to see it. Thank you again for coming out.
Thank you, Patrick. He's being humble. He's the reason we're here. Thank you very much. I'll also say that while this event is starting in spring of 2025, Black Desert is already supporting the women's game by bringing an Epson Tour event, which is our official developmental tour, here to the state. It will be up in Salt Lake City later this year. We're very excited to see what happens. That's actually going to be the largest purse in Epson Tour history, so already great work from the team here at Black Desert. Thank you. The LPGA, we're very excited about all the growth that's coming to our tour, as Casey mentioned, for the first time playing for over $100 million in purses, seeing our athletes recognized and elevated as the incredible athletes and role models that they are. We thank the team here at Black Desert, the governor's office, lieutenant governor's office, the team at Greater Zion, everyone. We thank you for your support. We also thank the team at Farmstead for the amazing pastries that are in the bag. Eat more so I don't, please. As Patrick mentioned, there are tours available of this beautiful new property. If you're interested, please connect with the tall gentleman over here, Brian Tonzoni, the Director of Marketing and Branding here at the resort. Our speakers will also be available for one-on-one interviews. If there's any interest, please connect with myself or Brian as well. Thank you all so much for coming. We are so excited to bring the LPGA Tour back to Utah for the first time in 60 years. If you have more questions, please connect with myself. You can also visit the championship website, which is now up and running, blackdesertchampionship.com. Follow the LPGA Tour on all of our social handles. The tour, we were in Las Vegas last week. It was very hot, but it was amazing for our match play event. The tour has now headed out to the other coast. They're at Liberty National, right outside New York City. A very different skyline there with the skyscrapers and the Statue of Liberty. But I've got to say, this might beat it. Thank you all very, very much. We'll see you in spring of 2025. Thank you.
There you have it. That was the announcement of the LPGA Tour coming to Southern Utah, and I know that all of us are super excited about it. So with that, we're going to take a break, wrap up the show. Coming up next, stick around.
Did you know that St. George News has a new app? Download the St. George News app today and stay up to date on everything happening in Southern Utah. Get instant notifications on news, weather, sports, and more. Download the app today and get your local news now.
Hey, it's Sheldon Demke. Check out the latest episode of What's on the Menu, a behind-the-scenes tour of local restaurants. We'll see some of their favorite dishes and get an inside look on how these dishes are prepared. Check out this week's episode at stgeorgenews.com and click the shows on the menu tab.
As a local business owner, it's important to get the word out about your business. More people equals more revenue for you. Get your business in front of over 160,000 people in Southern Utah each week with St. George News. Contact St. George News today.
Media is everywhere. It's a part of our daily life, our routine. Not just for entertainment, but to stay informed. Local media has the biggest impact on your daily life. It's what's around you, what matters. And at Canyon Media, our goal is to deliver the very best in local entertainment, news, and media. From our award-winning radio stations like 99.9 Coney Country to Southern Utah's #1 source for local news, St. George News, we believe in delivering free, fast, and accurate local news, entertainment, and information to all of Southern Utah through our entertaining on-air personalities and music, compelling local shows, and community events like the City of St. George 4th of July celebration and charitable events like Coney Corns for Kids. From our entire team of dedicated designers, videographers, salespeople, digital marketers, writers, and on-air talent, thank you for letting us be a part of your daily life. Canyon Media, here for you.
Check out this week's edition of TGIF on stgeorgenews.com. TGIF is your weekend adventure guide to all the fun and exciting things going on in Southern Utah this weekend. Find this week's edition at stgeorgenews.com and click the shows on the menu tab. Have a blast this weekend.
Hey, it's Caden Formaster.
And Mark Musgrave, the voice you know with the Fan Sports Network.
Check out our local sports radio show From the Bleachers live every weekday from 4 to 6 p.m.
Listen to us on the radio on 99.5 or 95.3 FM.
You can also listen through the Fan Sports Network app or watch the show live on the Fan Sports Network YouTube page.
The Fan Sports Network is your home of Utah Tech Trailblazers, high school sports, and the pros.
The Fan Sports Network, Southern Utah's home for local sports. Welcome back in, everybody. It's From the Bleachers here on the Fan Sports Network, broadcasting out of the Findlay Hyundai studio. Wrapping up your show with you tonight, this Tuesday afternoon, evening, whatever time of day it is. I don't even know anymore, Mark.
It is 5:51.
What time do we do our show?
Yeah,
No, it's good. Well, sometimes it feels like it's night when we're wrapping it up. This time of year, not so much. We still got another 3 hours of daylight.
Remember, it used
there.
to be dark when we would get done with the show?
Yeah.
6 o'clock. It'd be dark at like 5:15, 5:20.
Listen, I love doing our show at all times. Our show's great. We have the best job in the world. I hate when I go to leave the show and it's dark outside.
And it's dark outside. I know.
I love the show. I don't like leaving in the dark. Don't like leaving in the dark.
Hey, just again, I know we've talked a lot of LPGA golf today, as we should, though, because it is Women's Golf Day today, by the way.
Yeah, what better day than to have this announcement?
Absolutely. So, yes, we've talked a lot of LPGA golf. It's coming here to Southern Utah, specifically Black Desert Resort in Ivins, Utah, and we're going to have the pros here in the spring of 2025, May 1st, from what I understand. May Day. May Day.
That's May Day.
Love it.
I love it.
Hey, really quickly.
Yeah.
I teased a little bit earlier in the show about Scottie Pippen and Michael Jordan. Now, you've heard these comments, right?
I have, but let's give them so our listeners know where we're at and catch them up.
Yeah, and tell me what your thoughts are on this, Caden. So, in a recent interview, Pippen called Jordan. This is ridiculous to me. Well, I'm gonna hold my thoughts back.
Okay.
He literally called Jordan a horrible player. Okay, and he wasn't talking about his baseball career. He's talking about his basketball career.
Said he was a horrible player.
Scottie was asked to name the true GOAT of the NBA, and he said from a statistical perspective, it's LeBron James. Then he added, quote, I don't believe that there's a great player because our game is a team game, and one player can't do it. Now, first off, we need to get Scottie Pippen some English, some language arts, one-on-one.
Get him in some classes, yeah.
I seen Michael Jordan play before I came to play with the Bulls. You guys seen him play. He's a horrible player. He was horrible to play with. He was all one-on-one. He's shooting bad shots, and all of a sudden we become a team and we start winning. Everybody forgot who he was. First off, that's false. Now, what are your first thoughts when you hear this, Caden?
He sounds like an old teammate that has a little bit of bad blood.
Yeah.
I feel like there's no surprise there. I feel like a lot of people know that their relationship hasn't been perfect.
Yeah.
But this, again, he's just trying to put salt in the wound.
Yeah. Scottie, sorry. You'll never be Batman. You're Robin. You were Robin.
He's always been Robin.
To Michael Jordan, Batman. No question about it. And yet, you know what? He's not completely wrong. Yes, basketball's a team sport. We can all agree upon that.
Yeah.
But we all have eyeballs too. And we know who great players are. And we know who good players are. And then we also know who just wasn't all that great.
And I'm sorry, but Michael Jordan is not in the not so great category.
No, he is in the great category.
You can't look at Michael Jordan's career and be like, man, that guy was horrible.
Along with players like Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, several players, LeBron James.
Mm-hmm.
David Robinson, Tim Duncan, Charles Barkley. These are all of
Kareem.
your superstars.
Yep.
James Worthy, Karl Malone, John Stockton. I mean, these are great players.
Dr. J.
These are great players.
Yeah.
And yes, it is a team sport. I totally get that. But we know, we have eyeballs. We know who are great. And Michael Jordan was a great, great player. And when he was winning those championships, how does he come up with the thought of everybody forgot who he was? What?
I don't know.
That is so weird. Sour grapes.
Yeah, to say the least.
Man.
To say the least. Thanks for joining us on the show today, on the radio, or watching on YouTube, wherever you caught us. Appreciate you being with us today. We'll be back tomorrow, same time, 4 o'clock, right here on the Fan Sports Network.